Yes, students, this video is for November 2023, paper 2022, question 3, part B. 9708 A-level economics. The question says, the provision of merit and demerit goods differs from the provision of other private goods. Assess the view that the consequences of imperfect information are more serious in a market economy than in a mixed economy. So there are 5 terms at least which I can see in this question: merit goods, demerit goods, private goods, market economy, and mixed economy. So we need to give some elaboration for these 5 terms, and we need to do the analysis. And as you are aware that there are 8 marks for knowledge understanding assessment objective 1 plus assessment objective 2, that is analysis. There are 8 marks for that, and there are 4 marks for evaluation, that is assessment objective 3. So we first talk about the market economy and the mixed economy. So there are 2 major criteria on the basis of which one can differentiate between different types of economic systems. One is who owns resources, and 2, who allocates them. So if we look at the free market economy, free economy or market economy is the same thing. Who owns resources? Of course, resources are of 2 types: human resources, labor, and entrepreneur. Non-human resources, capital and land. No one can claim to be owning human resources. There is no slavery. So we can only talk about the ownership of non-human resources, which are capital and land. In a free market economy, resources are owned privately. Private ownership is allowed. And it is a price mechanism, that is demand and supply forces, which allocates resources in a free market economy. In a mixed economy, it is a mixture of planned economy and free market economy. So resources are owned both by private and public sector. And resources are also owned by both private and public sectors. So that's a difference you can say. So if you write in words, you can say that a market economy is one where resources are allocated with the help of demand and supply forces, that is price mechanism. Private ownership of non-human resources such as capital and land is allowed. The mixed economy is a mixture of planned economy and free market economy. The resources are allocated both by demand and supply forces, that is price mechanism, as well as by the government. And resources are owned, non-human resources are owned privately as well as by the public sector. We now talk about the difference between merit and demerit goods. So if we talk about merit and demerit goods, we first need to talk about the examples. Merit goods and demerit goods. Examples: education and health. Demerit goods: junk food, smoking. Now, the common thing between both of them, the problem, the issue of these merit and demerit goods, it is information failure. Information failure, it is a common thing between both, for both types of demerit and merit goods. The other difference is that between merit and demerit goods is the benefits. The benefits of merit goods are often underestimated. Underestimated benefits. Whereas for demerit goods, the benefits are overestimated. And in other words, we can say the difference between perceived and actual benefits. Now, the actual benefits of education or of a vaccination program are much more than the benefits which people perceive. People perceive education to be of less value, of less benefit than the actual benefit of education. So, perceived benefits are less than actual benefits of merit goods. Whereas for demerit goods, perceived benefits like I would like to enjoy junk food at midnight as midnight snack, and I will say, oh, the food is so yummy, it's so delicious. So for me, the benefits of their junk food are so high. However, in reality, I am damaging my health. So perceived benefits are more than actual benefits of junk food. The perceived benefits of smoking are more than the actual benefit of smoking, if there are any. And because of these problems, if left to market forces, merit goods are underproduced and underconsumed, and over here demerit goods are overproduced and overconsumed. And of course, the common thing is by the market forces. That is in a market economy. So if we look at this, the issue, if we look at this, the comparison between merit and demerit goods. So merit goods, examples we have given, education, health, and two examples of demerit goods, junk food and smoking. And the problem, that is the common problem, that is information failure. Let me try to erase the line which is in between the two. So information failure is a common problem. Benefits of merit goods are underestimated and overestimated benefits are for demerit goods. And perceived benefits are less than actual benefit for merit goods, and perceived benefits exceed actual benefits for demerit goods. And in a market economy, merit goods are underproduced and demerit goods are overproduced. We now talk about the private goods. Private goods have two features, two elements of private goods: excludability and rivalry. Excludability means no one excludability means those who do not pay can be stopped from using the product. Now, can be stopped. I may not. For example, in my own school, I may allow a student to study even without paying a fee. So even though he is not paying a price or a tuition fee, the product will still be a private good, as it is my discretion to either allow him or do not allow him to study in my school without paying a fee. So the word can be is very important. The possibility. In case it is possible to charge a price for a product, that product is a private good. And when it is impossible to charge a price, even if one wishes to, but still cannot charge a price, that makes their product a public good. Street light is a public good. A price cannot be charged even if the provider wishes to. Rivalry, the second element of private goods. Consumption by one decreases the quantity for others. So there is rivalry in the consumption. That is why motorways, public libraries, public parks, they are not good examples of public goods. They are all semi-public goods, or they are private goods, because they are rival in use. If there are more people in a public park, less space would be available for others. Similar case is for a motorway. So we move forward and we talk about the provision of private goods versus the provision of merit and demerit goods in a free market economy. So merit and demerit goods are examples of private goods. Now, what about their provision? We have just studied that merit goods are underproduced, and of course we are talking about market economy. In a market economy, demerit goods are overproduced in a market economy. Other types of private goods, other than merit and demerit goods, may be provided adequately in sufficient quantities Now, there is a rationale. Why it is so? Why are other types of private goods provided adequately or in sufficient quantities? Because there is a profit motive. If there are products whose profits are rising, the private sector will allocate more resources for them. And if there are goods whose profits are falling, the private sector will withdraw resources. So that's how the quantities would be correct. There will be correct quantity. If there is more demand and less supply, more resources will come in, demand will become equal to supply. And if demand is less than supply, resources would be withdrawn and demand and supply would become equal again. So meaning that other types of private goods, it's likely that the private free market economy will provide them in correct quantities. However, both demerit and merit goods are provided in incorrect quantities. We now talk about mixed economy and the provision of these goods. Mixed economy. So we can say, one, government may intervene to correct the production of merit and demerit goods. The government can intervene. In a mixed economy, there is a role of government as well. In a free market economy, there is absolutely no role of the government. So in a mixed economy, there is a role. So government for merit goods. Subsidies or positive advertisement. These are the two ways the government can intervene and can aim to correct the provision of merit goods. Subsidies. Cost of production goes down, supply rises, price falls, and we can show, and the quantity rises. Let me try once again. This pen. Quantity rises. And we can show it through a supply and demand curve. Please label the diagram properly whenever you draw one. Initial demand curve, initial supply, initial quantity, initial price, and because of subsidy, supply curve shifts rightward. Show an arrow that shows rightward shift, lower prices, higher quantity. So just look at this, that because of subsidy, merit goods will be, the production of merit goods will rise and it may come close to the correct quantity. On the other hand, positive adjustment, we can show it through a graph. It will shift the demand curve towards right. It will not only rise the equilibrium quantity, it will also cause increase in the price. So positive adjustment may raise the demand. So in both cases, if you look at both cases, the quantity is going up. So the problem of underproduction of merit goods may be solved in a mixed economy. In market economy, merit goods were underproduced, but in case of mixed economy, the production may go up because of the incentives given by the government. And now we talk about the demerit goods. Demerit goods. Opposite to merit goods, the demerit goods, there could be taxes and there could be awareness campaigns. Taxes on demerit goods will shift supply curve upward, lower the quantity, and make these demerit goods more expensive. Or an awareness campaign which informs people about the harmful consequences of demerit goods shifts demand curve to the left and causes a decrease in the quantity. In both cases, if you look at this, in both cases the quantity will go down. So, government intervention may decrease production of demerit goods, bringing it closer to the correct level. But there is a big however. However, is the limitations of government intervention. Now this is evaluation. Taxes and subsidies may be effective to change production and consumption if PED and PES are high. If PED and PES are low, in that case even a subsidy may not encourage people to produce more, or even at lower prices consumer may not buy more if PED is low. And since demerit goods are usually addictive, their PED is low. So a subsidy, a tax on demerit good may not be effective in changing the consumption. So the problem of overconsumption or overproduction of demerit goods may persist even in a mixed economy. So what do you need to write in conclusion? What do you need to write in conclusion? That there is overproduction of demerit good, there is underproduction of merit goods in a free market economy. In a mixed economy, government intervention can try to address this issue. However, there are limitations of government intervention. Therefore, the problem of overproduction and of demerit good and underproduction of merit good may not be completely solved. However, the degree of severity, the degree of seriousness, the degree of the problem may be less serious in a market, in a mixed economy. So we can write the conclusion, though government intervention in a mixed economy may not fully address the issue of overproducing demerit goods and underproducing merit goods. Though government intervention in a mixed economy may not fully address the issue of overproduction issues, because we were talking about two issues of overproduction producing demerit goods and underproducing merit goods, it may still bring the output of both merit and demerit goods closer to the correct level. The quantities may not be fully correct, but they will be closer. Therefore, the problem of information failure is likely to be less serious in a mixed economy. Even a mixed economy is not a perfect solution to the problem of information failure. There may still be incorrect quantities, but the difference between correct quantity and the quantity being produced will be narrowed in a mixed economy, and that will be because of the intervention of the government in the form of taxes, subsidies, and awareness campaigns. So this concludes my lecture. Thank you very much for your time.